Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 831 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Takamalda, and I am, of course, joined today in pretend low Earth orbit by Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
And Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
We survived technical difficulties to be here today. Like your microphone not working.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that it wasn't working. The app hadn't started yet.
What camera do you use?
Well, the camera's just a Brio.
Oh, but you need an app to run your Brio?
No, what had happened was before I shut my computer off yesterday, I'd muted my mic.
Oh,
didn't need it, and it
fair enough.
There's a little bit of noise
that
I'm not compressing away. Anyway, so when I restarted the computer this morning, the app didn't start, so it was stuck in the muted state.
Technology, everything's great. Everything works.
Everything's awesome. So
my fun project is that I got a little millimeter wave sensor. That I'm gonna try to get rigged into my house this afternoon, and then I can
Don't put it in your bottom.
What are you doing with millimeter wave sensors, Chris?
I'm just telling you, if you want to be like the TSA and start getting nudie pictures of people as they walk through your door, don't do it.
All right.
Don't do it.
Gross.
Don't become a millimeter wave pornographer.
Dude.
Anyway.
No, I just wanted to use it to make my lights turn off when I sit in different chairs in my room.
Oh, it's a presence sensor.
Yeah, well, it's a millimeter wave, so it's super accurate.
Yeah, who makes it?
This is Akara.
Oh, Akara, sure.
Yeah.
So not to log the internal workings of your ass.
No, this is not rated for anal use.
It's Akara, not Ascara.
Not Ascara. Right.
Oh.
Gross. All right.
All right. Enough about butt stuff.
No, well, there'll be butt stuff in a minute. Don't worry. We've got the Roku doing the most awful thing ever. They've got a patent now for Roku TVs. So if you have something plugged into your HDMI port on your Roku TV, they've got a patent now. So that while you pause your Apple TV or your Google TV or whatever's feeding in video signal through the HDMI port, they'll take this opportunity, this pause opportunity to perform a man-in-the-middle attack and show you ads.
You mean like in this document from Bunny in 2011?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they stated this as prior art, because I can guarantee you the various companies involved in this particular man-in-the-middle attack, are
classy, right?
Unenthused at the idea that Roku is going to patent it.
Yeah, that's
good try there.
That's Roku. Very unpleasant, but also just like, what kind of terrible universe do we live in? Oh, I'm gonna switch your camera over so everybody can see the TV. And my macro didn't work. It was just my face showing that whole time. Yeah, like, what kind of dystopian, the Black Mirror where the guy has the eye tracking and he has to look at the ads in order to get the currency, in order to, because he lives in a post-dystopian slave universe. This is where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially when you think about it connected to like Apple Vision, where they're just tracking your eyeballs all the time.
Well, I mean, this brings up a very good question of who the fuck would run Roku if they were going to do this. Do people love ads so much that they're going to opt into this nonsense?
But I think you're discounting the joy of getting more personalized ads, Rob.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure that's what'll happen. You'll just get ads that really speak to you.
They're just making your computer more relevant for you.
Yeah.
No.
Mr. Malda.
They're just helping you, Rob.
They're not at all.
So, like, with your nickname, Mr. Malda.
Yes.
Do you find yourself getting a lot of inappropriate, like, Mexican food themed ads?
No.
Not more than a normal load?
I run an ad blogger.
That's true.
So the number of ads I get is already, like, it's not a super effective system, but it skims a lot off the top. I get a lot of email, but I have a wildcard domain name that forwards to me. And so I get a lot of weird stuff that has nothing to do with me because people wildcard email addresses and bulk spam, which boggles my mind that that's a thing. But apparently that works when your sending costs are 0. Apparently that works 1 in a billion times, and that's enough to try.
Mm-hmm.
Because yay. Anyway, Roku, apparently they are garbage. Makes me sad. But I mean, the TVs, like I have a couple of TVs that are like smart, and I won't even put I put them on the internet, download a patch, and then change my Wi-Fi password so that they're not able to connect to the internet because I don't trust the TV vendors. The only TV that I let out, which I probably won't be doing for all that much longer, is one that runs the Google TV. It's a Sony that runs the Google TV. If I can find a Google TV dongle that wasn't garbage, I would take that one off the internet too. But the standard Google TV dongle thingy is, I don't know if you've ever used them. They're so bad. They're like jerky. The animation is all like chunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
I do have a Android TV dongle round 4K extra edition one. It was like $50.
Yeah, I probably.
Or would have been if I had paid for it.
It's unwatchable.
Is it really? I don't watch animation like you do. You know?
No, just the menus.
Oh.
Like you press the buttons and like you're scrolling through a menu and then it's like stall and it stops for like 20 seconds and it's all the time.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing as a user interface. The only smart TV interface that I don't find embarrassing is unfortunately the Apple TV one. That one is actually like, it's smooth, it's slick, it gets the job done. But that makes me sad because I want my updates on my TV because I assume they're going to make things better.
And you're saying you want better, more relevant ads too.
Well,
right?
ideally, I mean, and that's the truth, I guess, is that if the ads were relevant, I guess I would want them, but they never are. So this is the drone line power vampire story.
This is very clever.
Which is awesome. They show it working. They show it flying around. They show it clamping onto power lines, and they show it vampiring power off the power lines.
It's amazing.
Right?
That is neat.
It's very clever. Honestly.
Makes me wonder what other things we can do with it.
And then I can cut the cable.
Like charging off power lines, or the drone.
Well, I guess
because people do a lot of stuff with drones, Rob.
They do, but this one, okay, they need to get
and lots of things are powered from power lines.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how this is how the AI can rule us.
Oh.
Because the AI can install tasers onto drones. And now it's no longer limited to charging stations. It can literally charge anywhere.
With a taser?
Well, like
no.
The taser will murder us.
Swiftly.
Oh,
a taser is swift.
You just need loose clothing. You're fine.
Yeah, you're fine. Totally cool. Yeah.
All right, I'm fine then.
I mean, Rob,
Slayers.
Rosewood and I, we've been tased dozens of times. But we layer.
At least today.
We layer.
Layering for taser defense.
I mean, later today, I'm having a thorough tasing.
That's true.
So.
I'm being tased right now,
I hope they don't install.
No, this was just very clever. Because like if you have an inspection drone and, because they would commonly, one of the general aviation ways of making money is you fly along the the pipeline or the power cables and make sure nobody's, I don't know, building a tower underneath one, or check out the trees. And this would be a great way of automating a lot of that drone work. Very clever.
But also this is going to be evil.
Well, sure. I mean,
most cool things are also possible.
Vampire drones? What are they going to suck our blood next? I mean, are they going to wear big cloaks and hypnose passersby?
Well, once we switch them over to run on adrenaline, I think things will be a lot more dangerous outside.
What? So it's like a Jason Statham drone from Crank?
It just gets on your back and stabs you.
Oh yeah, like the cockroach remote control thing from 10 years ago. Yeah.
Can we call an adrenochrome drone?
Good Lord.
Adrenochrome?
I think we're gonna have like 4 of those clarifications stacked under this video now.
Oh, probably.
Adrenochrome is actually beating.
All right, so we've got an IRC client that runs as a UEFI.
On the
process.
UEFI, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So if you want to run the best chat platform from the late 90s, but without the bloat of an operating system, that's available to you now. I was actually watching a video recently about UEFI, and I didn't really understand. Like, it's kind of really simple, like kind of embarrassingly simple. Like, you can run kind of anything in the UEFI environment. Like,
Yeah, it's a computer.
It is, but it's like really stripped down.
Well, you don't have access to everything in the machine yet,
Right.
so.
Anyway, yep, they got an IRC client.
Well,
And
that's pretty keen.
it seems like we often have stories about how this technology, but can it run Doom?
Yeah.
This toothbrush can run Doom. I feel
Oh,
like
I bet you someone's run Doom in UEFI. Let's go see.
Well, that was my next question. So, IRC seems like a really good like starter version of that. Like, but this is like a graphical interface and everything. I mean, I'm sure it's terrible, but yeah, Magnum is right. Discord is the worthy IRC successor.
It really is.
Which unfortunately is going to also have targeted ads, so it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great.
Chechnya
banning music that is too fast or too
Who
slow.
posted this? Was this Rob or
I think it was between 98 beats and 116 a minute. That's the sweet
80
spot
to
for all music.
116. Yeah. That will conform to the Chechen mentality and sense of rhythm.
Yes.
And any other music is a crime.
But
borrowing musical culture from other people's is inadmissible.
Yeah.
Jeez. This includes the entire spectrum of moral and ethical standards of life for Chechens.
That feels like okay, just knowing like how music works. And Nate made this crack in the Discord. Says, well, all of my music now is just going to be in 30-second time.
Right.
Like,
we're just changing the time signature, everyone.
It's fine. It's all 16th notes.
It's just going to be join us now and share the software.
But
over
imagine,
and over.
You thought like dark Norwegian metal was underground. Just wait until you hear Chechen metal, which is literally underground because it's been banned in the country.
Yeah.
Because you're dead because you listened to it.
Yeah.
Well, what kills me, I'm like, so it has to have come from Chechnya, not Russia as a whole, not Europe, Chechnya. And it's like, are you really big enough to have a great pile of completely independent music?
And
well,
that
also
disallows all techno, apparently.
Yeah, and the other end of the spectrum too. Not a whole lot of bluegrass.
Oh yeah.
Or is there like a national banjo equivalent, like a klezmer or a?
I'm sure there is.
Everyone
has some sort of weird, larger string instrument.
My dad would be in trouble for listening to The Hearts of Space on NPR.
There's something called Kalkaran Yish. Let's look that up. Instrumental songs used to accompany dances. They can be accompanied by the decheponder, a 3-stringed instrument similar, maybe derived from the Russian balaleka.
Yeah.
Balaleka, sing and shout. Da, na, 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 na.
Whoa.
I also did notice that
balaleka.
choreographic work is under there too. So you can't dance too fast or slow.
And they have something called a fandar. A fandar, which is not to be confused with fan radar, which you would do at a science fiction convention, I'd imagine.
Hey, I got a question about your genitals.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Do you like having genitals in between your legs?
What, do we have an option to not have them?
It turns out.
Where are you going with this?
It turns out we actually now do have an option because scientists have made a mouse grow legs instead
for
of
like
genitals.
transplantation, or like from birth he doesn't have a wing wang, he's got a hand?
By mistake. Yeah, they have like where the gonads appeared, 2 more limbs happened. They found if you remove...
This is how you get spider mice.
Yeah.
They found if you remove this gene, instead of genitals, instead of gonads, you'd produce little feet. I mean,
Man, somebody really, really likes mouse legs, like frog legs, but mouse legs, you know?
I guess it would be beneficial, like, to hold your phone and stuff while you're driving and not get busted by the cops. You know?
Right.
I can't do this one.
I
This
feel
is
like
too
this
gross.
is
All the
just
jokes
like,
I'm going to make are going to be inappropriate,
this is just the basis for the next Cronenberg movie.
right?
For sure.
Long
Right.
live the new flesh, you know?
Uh,
Which happens to be 2 arms coming out of my genitals.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super gross and super awesome. But not as awesome
One of
as
those.
the Dune Popcorn Bucket.
I like that this got so much press. The AMC exec had to say something.
Yeah, Chris, get me a good picture of this one. I want this.
I'm
for a
getting there.
screenshot. Yeah. The line that I liked, somebody called it the Shia Lewisy. They were trying to portmanteau that. Oh, hello, sugar.
There you go.
There
That's
you
your
go.
shot.
All right. Boop. Isn't that amazing?
It's something.
That's a popcorn bucket, baby.
If we knew what we were going to do with our popcorn buckets, we wouldn't have made them.
You
That's a lie.
sickos.
They would have made double.
Somebody knew.
Yeah.
Somebody important knew.
I don't know. I mean, you can see genitals in everything, you know? That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
that doesn't take a
anything
lot of
wormy.
effort.
Yeah, this is
Well,
just.
also, I mean, it's not like that's particularly inviting for the purpose people are using
I mean, this
it
is
for.
this could have been the Sarlacc bucket. It could have
Yes,
been
exactly.
you know.
The space slug bucket.
Also, I like popcorn.
Yeah.
Isn't like this gonna get all greasy and
Yeah, it doesn't seem
and
practical.
weird? This doesn't seem.
Oh, it's going to get caught. You're going to get greasy kernels.
And like
in the
it's like
teeth.
it's gonna catch
yeah.
your hand.
It's going to
and,
get
like-
caught. It's going to get covered in grease. You're going to get greasy hands.
I guess everyone was like taking the top off and then just eating the popcorn normally and putting it back on. You know,
It's
it's like,
single use only.
I mean, no, but it's like one way. You know, it's like a valve.
It's like
not
the
a
trap that like they have the monkeys reach into the trap
Yeah.
and they won't
Yeah,
release
yeah.
the treat.
I would say the biggest problem with this bucket is those teeth aren't actually metal,
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
exactly.
So that you earn your popcorn.
Yeah. I mean, you can pay the plastic price or the iron price.
Right.
So here's a little bit of disclosure. You guys ever read the "Don't Put Your Dick in That" subreddit?
Nope.
No.
It's-
But I'm not surprised to hear that.
I didn't even know that existed. Thank you. I know
So-
what I'll do while I'm waiting today. And
Is spend some quality time. It's funny. It's really funny. It is like I would actually assume that this popcorn bucket has shown up on the
Oh.
"Don't Put Your Dick in That."
They probably have like a disclaimer to
Subreddit.
not put that post up anymore. You know.
this is probably the thumbnail for it.
Right. It's the header image now.
Yeah.
They made it their
I
wallpaper.
like the look on Chris's face.
Yep.
Just immediately. At first it was fun, and then a minute in, like most things, it gets a little too real.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
sure.
not offensive or anything. It's
no. It's
it's
the
funny.
one that they put up, and it's genuinely funny.
Yeah, no, you can put it on the screen. It's not gonna.
Well, this one especially is just very funny.
we can't see it, so you want to
Here,
share it.
yeah, I'll do that. There you go. So it's this little machine that whacks
It's
on. It
slapping
looks
the
like a
button.
nut. It's like a nutcracker, and it's like
Yeah.
I can see that
Yeah.
you should not put your genitals in this.
Nope. But usually it's like innuendo images like the popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
That, if you have a dirty mind, you could.
Not
think-
just, images of a paper shredder working
No.
or something like
No,
that.
it's not terrifying. It's
Just,
just,
just
supposed to
a
be funny.
hot fire, a glowing crucible,
It's a silly subreddit for people with a dirty mind.
Literally 3 minutes ago, someone posted the bucket.
Yeah. Like that, it's that sort of thing is the bread and butter of that subreddit. Rob, guess what I saw yesterday?
Did you see Kong versus
I saw
Godzilla?
Kong times Godzilla.
Ah, yeah.
And how was it?
I am actually really, really, really looking forward to seeing what Rob thinks of it, because it has so many things in it that he hates in movies, but it also has
Time
Godzilla.
travel?
No, there's no time travel.
Oh, all right.
But there is of course the Hollow Earth, and then there's a hollower Earth below.
Yeah, there's a
it.
hollow earth underneath the hollow earth.
Yeah.
Right. Hollow Earth all the way down,
Yeah,
boys.
it's just hollower Earths, one hollow Earth inside of another.
At some point, you have to ask if they're so hollow, how do we have so much gravity? You know, like, are we denser than we thought? Does Kong
Well, do they
relatives,
exist?
are they extra dense?
Do they exist like, nesting dolls,
Yeah.
so that the whole thing has the density of each one, but each one is a specific, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
one item.
Exactly.
It's infinity. So I enjoyed it. Let me get that. Like, I enjoyed it, but it is huge chunks of it could just be like an animated movie because there's like just not
Yeah.
people. There's
Yeah.
just like there's just titans smashing.
I've read
Smash.
quite a bit about it.
Yeah.
And the general consensus is that people who don't like it are, saying that it
Humorless
doesn't have
jerks.
near the story that some of the other ones do. And I think to myself, what story was that? The whole reason I'm
Precisely.
watching a Godzilla movie is not for the rich character development. It's to watch giant monsters fight each other and break shit.
So here are a few notes. First of all, I've seen all the Godzilla movies. I've seen all of them, and I didn't remember any of the characters really when the movie started. Like I was like, okay, like I remember the Monarch TV show now. I kind of because kind of Kurt Russell in it and Wyatt Russell in it.
Yeah.
But like this is the same universe, I guess, but not really. It's very fun. The middle third of it, like I really enjoyed the first 20-30 minutes. Then they get to a spot in the middle third where one of the main characters reads some ancient tablets or whatever and understands the culture of some species that they found,
Right.
some people they found, and then
As one does.
and then spends like most of the rest of the movie like, oh, what Kong is doing now is this, and then you see Kong do that. And it's all just fighting. Oh, they're coming together to fight this guy. And then you watch it. The humans aren't really doing much of anything.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, I'm not sure even
To be fair.
Top Sky could, really do a whole lot against Godzilla.
yeah, oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
even if Godzilla gave him his back,
yeah,
I doubt he
and
could choke him out.
And the movie is kind of like that. Like it starts off as like basically Godzilla is now humanity's protector and like wandering around the surface of the earth killing titans as they emerge.
Humanity or the Earth?
I guess the earth, because Kong
Yeah.
is the defender.
Kong is
the defender of the people.
Please.
They do some pretty amazing Donkey Kong dentistry, which is a lot.
I've seen the bit where he uses the little one like nunchucks.
Yep.
And I'm like,
They did that on Penny Arcade. Chris,
right.
get up the Penny Arcade from
All right, I'll find it.
from 2 days ago. That's a
Yeah, I'd heard about that. I'm like,
it's
dude,
comical.
really?
It's comical.
Is it?
There's a couple of things that happen that are either the most amazing thing you'll ever see or the stupidest. And I'm just curious what you're gonna think about it. And I don't want to say what they are because I'll taint your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. I was a kid who grew up loving watching those really bad Godzilla.
Yeah.
The first one's actually really good.
Godzilla
and
-1 is friggin' awesome.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You couldn't have a bigger gap between Godzilla -1 and Kong times Mozilla. Like in terms of Godzilla movies, you couldn't have a bigger gap.
Well, I'm thinking about some of the middle ones. Like I can't remember which one it was, that there's a point where Godzilla leaves, but he leaves by flying backwards through the air with his fire breath, Gamera style, right? But so there's a lot of stupid stuff that happened in some of those Godzilla movies that came out when we were very young.
Yeah. Well, there's some stupid stuff that happens, but you might enjoy it because the movie knows full well what it's doing. And if you're on board for enjoying what the movie is doing, then you'll have fun. But the movie is incredibly dumb. And there's just like huge sequences. Now, I was thrilled that like 10 minutes before the end, they do finally emerge and get to destroy a city. Like smashing through buildings and stuff. That's really what I want to see. I want to see Titans smash buildings. But like, I have no affinity towards like the world or the history of these characters. I don't care. But then they're just like bringing other characters in, and I don't know, like it's a lot. It's a lot. I'll be curious to see what you think when you watch it. I enjoyed it. It's not good.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, it is a King Kong Godzilla movie, so there's a certain minimum bar. We're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know,
Does it have giant monsters fighting each other?
It does.
Okay,
it does. And
great.
lots of them, and lots of fighting. Like
and completely
really,
forgettable human characters.
I don't even remember if like
Were there any human characters?
There were 3 human characers.
I heard that they destroy Sydney.
Well,
what city did they destroy? In this
they have to have at least one, right? Because they got rid of the weird little people twins who controlled Mothra, and now it's like a young girl or something, right? Part of that tribe that they discover.
It is. I watched Night Swim, which is the haunted swimming pool.
Haunted swimming pool movie.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. And I watched Dark Star, which we talked about last time, but we haven't talked about how I really liked Dark Star, but that's a weird ass movie. And also, Dune Part 2 is now available on the internets. If you,
I watched it.
Really?
Yeah. I watched it.
Very interesting.
What'd you think, Rob?
I really liked it,
So
but I was a little. I think the first books in the Dune series are the best. I think it goes off the rails pretty quick in the mid to later books.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that this would end with this and they would wrap it up.
Yeah, but
it looks like
they're going to get number 3.
Yeah, they're going to at least have number 3, and maybe that'll be okay. I really liked it. I liked I mean, we grew up with that classic Lynch Dune, right?
Yep.
So it's not
the correct one. Yeah.
Yeah. It is good. I liked it quite a bit. They did a much better job of tying in the theology part of it and how he's basically fighting Jesus.
Right. And like it's basically Life of Brian.
Yep, a little bit. And they did a really good job of dealing with how he thinks about that and his love interest as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's pretty good.
The Pug, she's fine, but she's barely in it.
Her character isn't important at all.
Yeah,
and her exists for the same reason people exist in Godzilla movie.
And we had a good discussion, Kat and I did about Christopher Walken.
You know what? I thought that could have been anyone. That role was wasted on Christopher Walken.
Well, and my problem with it is that I can't see Christopher Walken now and take him seriously anymore. Like he's been parodied by himself. He's so parodied.
He's the Shut Up Emperor. Who's he playing?
Yeah, he's the Emperor. But he's so parodied at this point.
Yeah.
You
got to know him a little too well.
Yeah, you might as well put Danny DeVito in the role.
Or Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Well, my problem if he really Christopher Walken did up, right? Like when they introduce the character and he has, a half-hour soliloquy about hiding spice someplace,
and he's got cowbells like on a necklace,
right. He's really worked up about something, but he's tries to play a calm, calculating person, and that is not who I think of.
I've given you your father's watch.
There was a classic science fiction movie. What was it called? Capricorn 1. One of its actors died. He was only known for Capricorn 1. Yeah.
The juice. He's no longer loose.
I think he was also a sports ball player of some type.
Yeah. He did something else that made him really memorable. What was it?
Naked Gun reboot.
Right.
They've been working on now with Liam Neeson, I think.
Yeah.
They're really doing that. That would be fantastic.
Really doing it.
That would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah. But they're going to have to do it without the guy. The juice.
Juiceless.
Yeah. I'm sure they were planning on bringing him in, a little cameo.
I'm trying to think of other people who were found not guilty of murder that they could put in the role.
People who were air quotes not guilty.
Yeah.
All right, we had a hard stop, so let's rock out of here.
Oh, maybe that'd be the great ending to How to Make a Murderer.
Oh.
Right? finally gets his freedom so he can appear in the movie and the Naked Gun
There you
reboot.
go.
Sure. That makes
Also
perfect
makes
sense.
I'm in. Goodbye.
All right,
Rob.
yeah, I got.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
See ya.
Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Goodbye.
That was episode 831 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Maldo. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.